Hello, this is a Bluthner style 4 grand piano made in 1934. It's just come into stock, so just want to see what sort of work we need to do to improve it and also to appreciate the piano. It's a piano we're always pleased to get in. It's very popular, the Bluthner style 4, and we love the tone of them too. They're a mellow sounding small grand piano, 150 centimeters long, so that's 4'11", and I'm just showing you the case, which is in extremely good condition. I think this is the original polish as well. There's a small nick on the long side here, which we can easily disguise, and there's a few scuffs here and there, which our polish would certainly be able to make good. The only real defect is this watermark on the top here, which our polish is very good at disguising those and most completely making them disappear. Or we can repolish the whole piano if you prefer that. The back here you can see there's a slight fade line as well. So that again can be disguised. Or if we repolish the whole piano, it's 70 hours work. So with 30 coats of French polish and finished with antique waxing, as we said before. So that obviously adds quite a lot to the price of the piano. It's got a practically perfect set of ivory keys. That might be a replacement. It was extremely well done. So that's very encouraging. The piano's been extensively restored, including shimming the soundboard. There's a shim here, and the rest of the soundboard is absolutely perfect. You normally shim soundboards when you take the whole thing apart, and the frame's been refinished too. The only defect I can see cosmetically is here, where there was a stain originally on the soundboard, which doesn't affect the tone at all. So the dampers have been replaced as well, and the tuning pins are very tight. The pianos have new hammers, but they're not completely fitted to the strings. So if we listen to this one, for instance, there's a slight buzz on it. That's not just tuning, that's a buzz, and that's because it's hitting 2 of the strings before the 3rd one. So played gently, that one's fine, but as we take the wedge out and we wedge the other side and play the same note, it's not hitting it. So basically it's either the hammer that's slightly tilted and needs to be straightened up, or it might be that they haven't been set properly to the agraffe here. The hammers have been recovered rather than replaced. That means new felt put on top of the old wood, and firms like Arbel do an excellent recovering service, so that's perfectly acceptable. And you can see the roughness here shows that it's not recovered. It's also not replaced, but recovered. There's slight unevenness here as well, and they've been refaced. You can see the hammers have been shaved off a bit. You can see the fluffy white here come off the hammers. We may well reface a little bit more. We certainly need to voice, and we need to match the hammers to the strings a little bit more as well. And you can see that here the regulation is a long way out. So it was about 52 or 53 millimeters from the string, and should be more like 47, in fact 45. Bluthner often is a bit less, and I like 45 for this one. You can see they don't sit on the rest rail here then either. By the way, the rest rail was loose here. If you press there, you can see that bottom screw needs tightening up, which I'll do now. It's really important, otherwise it can make a noise, and I think it did make a slight noise, so that needs tightening up to the rail. A very simple job, but it's often neglected. It's something worth checking on the piano just to make sure. So that's the bottom screw there, and the top one needs to be tight as well. So we'll obviously do any work that's necessary on the piano. The action's in very good condition. There's no play here, no sideways play, but that's really important. Before regulating the hammer blow, we need to see if the key dip is correct, and it's just under 11 millimeters. 10.5 will be normal. I tend to like it, if anything, slightly more. Digital keyboards are slightly more, and people are used to that. But anything between about 10 and 11 is fine. 10.5 is normal, but then you have to set the hammer height accordingly. Now, the hammer height here, around about 45 I'm setting it at, which is normal for Bluthners, and you do that by adjusting the capstan underneath here. So inserting a tool into the hole in the capstans, we can adjust the hammer height just by moving it that way, and the hammer goes up, and that way and the hammer goes down. Then we can regulate the let off buttons here, and that'll let the hammer let off earlier or later. And if you look at the two here, the right hand one is the one that we've regulated, and the left hand one, well, it's not high enough to let off that high anyway. So we need it as close to the string as possible within a margin of safety, so it does let off properly. So this is B and C is the one that we've regulated. So if you look at the difference, there's quite a difference. And if we play gently, let's see which sounds first. The C. So it gives you much more sensitive playing. You can control the volume a lot better. And now you can hear the B coming in. So regulating the let-off allows you to play a lot more sensitively. So you can see that the C is letting off a lot later than the B. So the B letting off far too early. And if we play gently, you can hear the C and not the B. And if we play a bit louder, you can hear both of them. But if you want sensitive playing, then obviously the let-off needs to be as close as possible. And the spring also was a bit weak. There's a spring under here which holds the lever up, and that brings the hammer close to the string after you've played it. So that's the adjustment screw. Now if we look at these two here, we can see the B there, which isn't checking hardly at all. And as I release the back check by taking my finger off the key a bit, it goes up a little bit, but that's C that we've regulated, and it's going up nice and positively, and C sharp. So that's regulating this little screw here, and really important. And last of all, the drop screw. This is a drop screw which holds the hammer as close to the string as possible, again within a margin of safety, a little bit further away than the let-off, and that will allow quick repetition. So you can see after I press the key and release them, the right hand one C is so much higher than the left hand one B. And by the way, the check, that one hardly checks at all. Should be between about 20 and 17 millimeters from the string. So again, quite close, and should be near the top of the check, but not so much near the top that you wear it out. So the B wasn't checking at all hardly, and the C, you can see it's checking near the top. If it's too near the top, sometimes you find that they're wearing out the very top part of the check here. Obviously you don't want to do that, so they should be near the top but not too near, so they wear the check out. So the overall tone of the hammer is really good, and the strings also sound excellent. Typical Bluthner, very mellow, and down the tenor and bass. And for this size of piano, that's an excellent bass. So the piano's been generally well restored, but there's a lot of regulation work to do. The hammer blow is far too great, and I've tried to show you some of the regulation work, the most important jobs. There are other aspects that we will also do, and we might discover things along the way. The keys need reweighting. The 64 grams is a very heavy feel for most people. If you're used to playing the piano, that might not be too high for you, but 55 would be acceptable. 50 is normal for middle C, so it's a long way to go. And we can see the up weight is also very high. Well, as we reduce the down weight, the up weight will also reduce. There's 63 grams on middle C, and it's just about going downwards from an encouragement, so 63, 64. So the up weight is the maximum weight you put on the key, and it will still come up. So if I release my finger now, this is 48 grams. It's actually coming up at 48. I wrote 47, and that's very high up weight. But as we reduce the down weight, then obviously the up weight is going to reduce, and it should be, well, no more than 35, certainly. 30 is kind of normal, can go down to 20 grams. And lower up weight feels better. Something else which is quite common is the sharps knocking, and if we have a look at the sharps here, you see they're knocking against the fall. You can actually see a mark where they've knocked, and that's just a case of angling the fall slightly more, and then they won't knock. So that's a Bluthner Star 4 grand piano made in 1934. It's a fine instrument, needs a lot of regulation, and we'll be very pleased to work on it because it's an excellent instrument. If you're interested in the piano, please do write to info@robertspianos.com. Thank you very much for listening.